All right, the first Sunday of the NFL season got off to sort of a rotten start for the New York Giants, wouldn't you say? Hopefully the Jets will have better luck tonight.
Yeah, sports editor for the Daily National, MikeB joins us for a little Monday morning quarterback. Again, thanks for being here with us, Mike.
Great to be with you.
All right, we got to start with the Giants. You know, I mean, do we go into the Eric Flowers problem? Because
I think Eli Manning would like to go into that problem. I think what you saw from the Giants is what you probably see this entire season. Eli struggling and kind of being the weak link of the offense. Yeah. Beckham having a really good statistical day, and then Barkley doing exactly what they were hoping that they would get from this dynamic running back from Penn State. First half, you kind of look at him and you think, oh, 18 yards, what are we getting here with our #1 pick? And then breaks that big run for a touchdown. Still, the Giants coming up short.
Well, you knew you were going to expect big things from Odell. He came running out of that tunnel like a man on fire.
Absolutely.
You know, after breaking his ankle, last year, he was ready to go.
He was there. He was there to put on a show, and he did to a certain degree. And I think we'll see this throughout the season. I mean, between Beckham and Barkley, they've got this dynamic tandem. But again, who's going to get them the ball? And are teams actually afraid of Eli Manning anymore? Or are they just going to focus on those two? We'll be seeing that over the next, coming weeks. And I think, ultimately, Manning will be the thing that holds this Giants team back and their offensive line.
All right, Jets coming up. We've got this golden ticket, Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
I mean, what do we think about this guy?
I think it's like the movie Sliding Doors. It's like, which path could the Jets and Giants have gone down? If you're a Giants fan, you may be looking at this Jets team thinking, what could have been? We could have had Darnold. Look at the great teams in the NFL right now. Look what Aaron Rodgers did last night with the Packers. Yeah. This is a quarterback league. This is not a running back league. I think the Jets really had this quarterback fall into their laps, and I think for Jets fans, finally they've got something to cheer for, something to root for, something to actually look forward to.
All right, well, I'm staying quiet during football because I watched Tom Brady yesterday instead. But what I did watch, and I cried, I don't know if it's the hormones or not, but the U.S. Open, Serena Williams versus Naomi Osaka.
Yes.
That was a very emotional tournament and final. We've never seen someone fine like this. Serena has always said that she's had trouble playing at the U.S. Open.
Yes.
But walk us through what happened, and I think actually we have maybe a bite from this. Let's listen.
You owe me an apology. I have never cheated in my life. I have a daughter, and I stand what's right for her, and I've never cheated. And you owe me an apology.
Called him a thief for taking a point away.
You're a thief, too.
All right, for those of you who didn't see all the drama on center court, she gets a warning for basically telling this guy off. She gets a warning for breaking her racket, and she gets a warning for coaching. That results in the loss of a game.
Absolutely.
In the final. Is that too crazy?
By the letter of the law, no. And I think this is what this umpire was doing. He was going by the letter of the law. He was almost making himself the center of attention in this regard. But then again, I think when you look at the stakes of what was going on, Williams' track history at the U.S. Open, she kept on saying, this is not how I want to win. This is not something that's in my DNA. But you know what? She has had some of these outbursts in the past, and now this one really went to the next level. And I think the umpire, man, woman, whatever the case may be, he's had a history of penalizing players for this sort of behavior, going back to the French Open with Djokovic and some of the other players. So this is more of an ump issue than a Serena issue, but then she took it to the next level, and it's still continuing even right now during the match, during the presentation of the trophy. Obviously, Osaka, very emotional. The next day, still, this is something that's going to be resonating for a long time, unfortunately.
After the fact, after she gets, the game lost, the way she handled it, what do you have to say about Serena sitting up there with Osaka?
Now that's what I think people will remember. They're not going to necessarily remember the tantrum and the racket throwing and some of the things that she said. They're going to remember that sportsmanship, but we have to take a look back as to why we were in that situation in the first place. And I think it's her behavior on the court.
And I have to mention Billie Jean King coming out and saying, in support of Serena, saying this is a women's rights issue. What do you say about that?
No, it's a women's rights issue, and I think some of the other players, Djokovic included yesterday, saying, you know what, maybe we need to take a look at what some of these rules mean and what's the intent and what's the spirit of these rules. Certainly Billie Jean King, the tennis center is named after her. She holds a lot of weight. I think we should take what she says very seriously and have more of a dialogue and a conversation around
Serena
it.
also said, you will never ref one of my games again.
Yes.
Is that a possibility?
I think we may be seeing those two clash again at some point down the line. Just on the surface of it, to not have a player dictating who and where they'll be umpiring and